Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Astrology Today. My name is Mel Rose, and I'm here to share your daily aspects. Today is Saturday, April 9, 2022. The Sun is in Aries today with Mercury and Chiron. Sun in Aries is the fire starter, the motivator, the catalyst. Sun in Aries is the beginning we make, sometimes hastily, before we even realize something else has come to an end. And Aries asks us to believe that the best starts are made with passion, spark, and enthusiasm. In fact, if you're making a start in some way right now and something about it is having a wet blanket effect on your joy, there is truly no time like the present to address the obstacle or revise the plan. The first quarter moon met its own culmination early this morning at around 1:30. This is the time to commit to a course of action that spurs on your enthusiasm and delight in the pursuit of your goals. So again, if you have a need to revise the plan or address an obstacle, it's really both right there in the sun and the moon. We're working toward the culmination of our goals. And the moon is in Cancer for most of the day today, advising self-care and looking out for those that we keep close to us. Moon will make ingress to Leo later this evening. I'm going to get right into the aspects, but first I will point out the handcrafted key on the right-hand side of the page. Most of the symbols on the page have made it into the key. If you desire a point of reference, it's right here. I have otherwise divided the page into two columns, one for each of our luminaries. The moon is the luminary that sheds light on our inner lives. This is your relationship with yourself, what it feels like for you to be in your body, heart, and mind, and in your home. The transits and aspects that the moon makes are all very brief, and they may have some impact on those things you think, feel, know, and intuit, but may not choose to express. The sun is the luminary that sheds light on our outer lives. This is especially how we show up in the world, specifically in our work, social, and civic spaces. I address the sun and the rest of the planet's movements on this side because it has more to do with how we express ourselves outside of the heart and home. We begin on the moon side today, Central Standard Time, friends, at 9:36 a.m. Moon goes trine to Jupiter. This is a very positive way to be getting into our day, friends. It's an opportunity to notice the things that are going really well for us. We can feel positive about the growth we've achieved and appreciate the way our expanded sense of what we can be, do, and have is lifting us up. Trine points to ideal functioning between the inner experience and our capacity to grow or be nurtured into a grander, more realized version of ourselves. Then at 10:46, just over an hour later, the moon goes trine to Neptune. Now this is an opportunity to tap into our creativity and dream the way forward. Since this aspect overlaps the timing of the last one, you have this inner life moon action in ideal, highly functional relationship with both Jupiter and Neptune, which are actually going to come into a conjunction very soon here. This reminds me of when the sun was in Pisces with Jupiter and Neptune. I see an expanded flow of creative potential for us today. You may notice some happy coincidence or synchronicity. I encourage you to take it as a sign that you're on the right track. And again, notice that these are just over an hour apart, and they'll be conjunct next week. An hour apart according to the moon from our perspective here on Earth, right? And then at 6:25 this evening, moon goes conjunct to Mercury. There is a plan to make or a conversation that needs to be had. Conjunct, oh, that's a square. It's really a conjunct aspect here. Conjunct shows the energies of the inner life here and the intellect under pressure, sort of mashed together. So try not to avoid the mental work that is on your plate right here. It might backfire on you because, again, content's under pressure. And then at 8:01 this evening, Moon will go void of course, making its final aspect in the sign of Cancer. Moon in opposition to Pluto represents the potential for conflict in the heart or home regarding some strongly or deeply felt emotions, intuitions, or recalls. And then we have a 3-hour void of course. Right here, where when our inner experience, during the void of course, our inner experience is less affected by any specific sign because the moon is kind of in between signs at that time. So this is a perfect time to have the kind of conversation with yourself that one might need to have if one were feeling conflicted about something. Do the writing, the reading, and the inward intuitive work, and find a way to balance out the hard feelings. And then at 11 p.m. This evening, Moon makes ingress to Leo. The next 2.5 days we can spend shining our warm and loving lights on those that we keep closest to us, including ourselves. That's what Moon in Leo is all about. Sign influences to look out for on the Moon side today, because we've got a pretty heavy dose of feelings and intuition possibility and potential here. Sign influences to look out for would be all of my water signs, Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio, all have ruling planets involved in the inner life today. Also Sagittarius, Virgo, and Gemini. Okay, on the sun side of the page, in the ongoing column, Mercury sextile Saturn is here today and gone tomorrow. This is going to be Gemini, Virgo, Capricorn, and Aquarius influenced people mostly, or I should say with the most influence there. This has been a really special opportunity for us to focus our analysis and our mental work on what our needs are and what it takes, what we need to get it met. So hopefully you've been doing that work. We had that Mars conjunct with Saturn for a few days back there last week, and it was really talking about the work that still had to be done and how we needed to focus our actions on the serious and important stuff that needs to be taken care of. Because, occasionally, I mean, we can spend our lives dreaming, and we can spend our lives working and making money, and we can, do all the things that we'd like to do. But occasionally you just got to sit down and, do the taxes, or, get out and mow the lawn. That's the important work that needs to be attended, right? And then Mercury sextile Mars is still on board with us through the 13th. Today, I can see how this echoes the sentiment of that first quarter moon and offers this cooperative boost of mental alertness and initiative to our plan of action. So this is saying choose a course of action. This is saying commit to your plan. This is saying commit to your plan right now. It's time to get started, guys, finally. Okay. So Mercury sextile Mars, yeah, we talked about that. So, this is just another sign or a signal from the heavens above saying, yes, choose your path, or you've chosen your path. It's time to, put your feet to the ground and start doing the walking. Tomorrow, Mercury squares off with Pluto before making ingress to Taurus. This Tuesday, Jupiter and Neptune will go conjunct in Pisces. Talk about expanded flow of creative potential some more. Yes, please. And Mars leaves Aquarius and moves us into Pisces this Thursday. And of course, we'll see that full moon in Libra next Saturday. This will be the time to celebrate how far we've come on the journey so far, how we've grown, and what we've gained. Okay, that's it for today's astrology. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Please like my video, subscribe, and click the notifications bell. I post here every day, and I wouldn't want you to miss a thing. And friends, thank you so much for all of your comments, your questions, and the encouragement that you send. It's very gratifying. It really helps me feel enthusiastic about what I'm doing, and I appreciate that. But it isn't just gratifying for me to know that you're listening. It also lets YouTube know that you're engaged in the content, and that helps us all out. Also, if you know anyone for whom this might resonate, I encourage you to share. Sharing is caring, so show someone you care today by letting them in on your little daily astrology secret. Now I'm going to take a couple of moments to talk about tarot as it relates to the astrology today. First, I'll discuss the tarot card that sits on the side of the page. Then I'll do a quick rundown of today's astrology before throwing a random card that hopefully represents today's energies. Let's get into it. All right, so card on the side of the page is the Three of Wands, and it represents the second 10 days of the sun's transit through Aries. And we're going to switch to the next card on Monday. So just the last couple days of that second 10 days of the sun's transit through Aries. That means we're more than halfway through the sun's transit through Aries. Oh, it goes by so quickly. But the Three of Wands is, a really great sign of potential, and not just potential, but, showing that we have some idea what we're doing, where we're going. We have enacted a plan. We've pushed it out into a creation that is moving forward in the world, and we can sort of stand on the shore and look out and see the far shore, see what our goals are, see that they are in sight if we just stick to the plan. And also we can sort of see the obstacles, the hazards that might get in our way between here and there, and we can begin to plan also for those obstacles and, make whatever revisions to the plan, again, that we need to make on our journey forward. This can be really be a time of rapid growth. We can see things expanding and growing, or opportunities opening up for us at this time, and that's all great news, because you've got this plan in motion, and everything that comes up, all those new opportunities, they're just opportunities to expand your own plans for yourself and expand what you can be, do, and have in the world. So I love this energy, very forward momentum, very yes, we're on our way, and we know we're on our way, right? We're in the plane, we're taxiing down the runway, we're getting ready to take off, we're taking off. All right, so that's the Three of Wands. Now I'm going to mix up my cards a little bit while I remind myself and the cards and y'all that the sun is in Aries, with Mercury and Chiron both being there too. Chiron will be in Aries through 2027. So, these themes around being comfortable expressing ourselves and, feeling like we fit into the spaces, the circles that we include ourselves in. Other words, diversity and inclusion will be coming up for the next 5 years at least. So, keep your hats on for that. But Sun in Aries is just this time of bright spark and initiative. It's a great time to feel the enthusiasm about the things that you're trying to do in the world, the good moves that you're trying to make. And then Mercury is there, but Mercury is going to move on to Taurus really soon here. Mercury's transits are really quick. So just here long enough to really kick up some dust around those fresh starts and the spark and the fire and the initiative and the diversity and inclusion. And then he's out of here. And then the moon is a waxing gibbous now. We are on the now waxing gibbous side of the first quarter moon. Cancer most of the day, moving into Leo later on. So, Cancer is a watery vibe. It's very emotional, but it's also very loving and protective. Leo is a different kind. It's more of a fire sign, but it's also very protective and very loving. Leo wants to show its love. It wants to shine for other people and appreciate and dramatize those feelings. So that's what we're moving into, is a chance to dramatize what we want and how we feel. And I love that. But this is the time to choose a course of action. We've been dreaming and hoping and wishing and planning and deciding which path to take. Today's the day to choose. Now is the time to, put your money where your mouth is and go do the work toward the culmination or partial culmination of some goals, so that we can have something to celebrate next Saturday with that full moon in Libra. Mercury sextile Saturn and Mercury sextile Mars. Saturn and Mars were conjunct last week, saying we had more work to do and we really needed to focus in on the stuff that requires our attention, the important things. And this was a little more, like, keep thinking about it, keep thinking about what you need, keep thinking about how you're going to get it done. So, Saturn has been a heavy influence in our lives for months, and the influence has gone down. Like, it's not so ever present every day, but continuously we do still need to be thinking about those structures and networks that we lean on for support and our responsibility to maintain them. And that's what that says. And then on the moon side, we have, a whole kind of mixed bag of emotional or intuitive stuff going on here. Beautiful way to start the day, and I hope that we can carry these vibes with us just throughout the day. That moon trine Jupiter and moon trine Neptune, just this really positive, highly functional energy for expansion and creativity sort of combined together. These two are going to merger or go conjunct later this week. So that's exciting. And we're sort of getting a little preview of that in the heart and home this morning. And then moon conjunct Mercury, make the plan, have the talk if it's important, if it's coming up. Conjunct will often make us just feel like compelled to have the talk. Like, it's not like, can you talk? It's like, okay, we need to talk about this. And then the evening, we might have some conflicted hearts or some strong emotions. We've also got this 3-hour void, of course, before the moon makes ingress to Leo at 11 p.m. I didn't write that down. So, take advantage of that void of course period between 8 and 11. And, if you do have a conflicted heart or dealing with some strong emotions or some deep recall, have the conversation with yourself, do the reading and writing that you need to do to sort of come back into an aligned way of being, so that you can move forward with spirit, inspiration, and spark. Okay, and with all that said, I'm going to turn this card. We have the 7 of Rods. So, wands and wands, friends, all fire, all the time. and first I'm going to say 7 plus 3 equals 10. And the 10 of Wands is not necessarily a positive card. The 10 of Wands is like we are holding on so tight to what we have achieved that we can neither stand up straight under the weight of it or see the way forward, right? So, if that's the energy that you're in, if you're still clinging to things that you did before, clinging to the need to defend, that looks like a kind of defensive position, clinging to the need to defend your record on something, understand that continuing to cling to that will potentially, put you in a bad way in terms of just not being able to move forward in your life. We all need growth and expansion and new experiences, and, dwelling on the old experiences, and, trying to defend our records of all the good things we've done or all the bad things we've done or all the totally cool things we've done or whatever, in the end, it might not be worth it, because we still have to keep growing and we still have to keep expanding, and we still have to keep moving forward on something beautiful and new. So there's that. And then, there's just this 7 of Rods. This looks like a defensive card to me, because people are sort of pushing their spark, their fire in your direction, and you've got this wand, right? And you've got this wand held like a staff in your hands. You're sort of holding them back, but it also says you have the upper ground, right? So, you can choose to defend your record. You can choose to defend your trophy case of achievements that you've had, and you will come out on top. It's a-okay to do that. But this energy is not really in alignment with this energy. Okay, this energy is looking forward and making plans, and this energy is worried about what has come before, and worried about who might be coming after their their record, or who might be coming after their stack of achievements. So I really advise to be careful about being in sort of this stubborn place of defensiveness. I understand there are times when it's absolutely appropriate to defend ourselves, and some of us might actually be in a situation right now where, our deeds are being called into question, and we have to stand up for ourselves. And if you have to stand up for yourself, absolutely do it. This is the time to be doing that. Get the higher ground, take the higher ground, okay? Take the higher ground, take the high road, friends. When defending yourself, when people call into question the things that you have done, or call into question the way that you do things, call into question the reason for your inspiration, your spark, or your fire, it's a-okay to take the higher ground and say, yes, that's what I've done, and this is who I am, and I'm still a human being, and I consider myself a good human being, and maybe I made a mistake, but I'm trying to go forward, or maybe I've done lots of good things, and I'm still trying to move forward. I'm still trying to move on into my next adventure. So just keep in mind, like we've been attending the hard work, and we've been having conversations, important conversations. We can have some conflicted hearts and strong emotions. I see that in this person's face. This person, he almost looks, it's not exactly like the Nine of Rods, but he almost looks like, I'm getting a little tired of doing this. So, also, if you're tired of defending yourself, there's always the option of not defending yourself. Like, ask yourself the question, the people who are coming after me, or the idea I have that people are going to come after me over this or that, is it based in reality? Is there a foundation for that idea? And is it worth your time and love and spark and effort to defend against what other people have to say, and in doing so, sort of ignore the journey forward, which is the important part of what you're doing? Yeah, I think that's what I have to say about that today, friends. Thank you so much for showing up. I really appreciate the heck out of y'all. My name is Melanie Rose, and I will see you all back here tomorrow for more Astrology Today.